should have really been had. And you feel me? We're gonna make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I'm actually live right now on YouTube right now. Live on YouTube right now. You know, education is elevation. You feel me? One of my favorite philosophers, one of my favorite theorists. I'm about to go off on TikTok right here. Y'all go meet me over on YouTube right now. Definitely, if you know any indigenous women, you know what I'm saying, definitely tell them to tap in. I'm gonna be letting them know in the comment section where you're gonna have access to jump in the conversation and also be on the screen so we can have indigenous women voices included. You know what I'm saying? But the somebody that I really look up to, somebody that I, you know what I'm saying, really get a lot of my understanding of the word of myself from Huey P. Newton. You feel me? And before, you know what I'm saying, I give y'all this Huey P. Newton quote. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start this right this time.
Yeah. Cool. COE. Cool. This for anyone who thought I'd ever fall off. 50 points with no assist, bitch, I'm a ball hog. I got millionaires all inside my call off. If you don't like me, bitch, delete me, nigga, log off. That go for all y'all. I mean, damn, dub. I'm saying, dub, why these niggas always playing dub?
Hey, Huey P. Newton, co-founder of the Black Panther Party. Shout out to everybody in East Oakland. He once said that power is the ability to define the phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner. If you've been following me for a while, you know that's one of my favorite quotes, and you're probably gonna hear it a few more times if you're hitting that follow button right now. You feel what I'm saying? The phenomenon, though, that we getting into today, though, is missing and murdered indigenous women. You know, so far, you feel me, in our social media, there's been a lot of sensationalizing of, you feel me, missing and murdered, you know what I'm saying, white women, you feel me? This is not to say that they don't matter or anything like that, but we recognize how different bodies hold different values, and how literally the place that Gabby was in picked up on, I seen a statistic that said it's been like 700 indigenous women from 2010 to 2020 that's been missing there, and they ain't received no media coverage at all. So when we think about the audience that talk about all lives mattering, and we think about the audience talk about humanity, and think about the audience talk about humanitarian issues, talk about feminism, or talking about valuing bodies, you feel me? We see that there is some type of way that people don't either share the quote from, you know what I'm saying, what was it? The quote from the movie. Either they don't know, or it don't show, or they really just don't give a damn about what happened. You feel me? When it comes to indigenous women and what's happening in the reservation and what's happening, you feel me, and just with different native tribes, what's going on. You know, I also, you feel me, had one time seen this special that was on, I think, Sports Center, maybe it was ESPN, but it was about this specific tribe that would practice with their little girls, you feel me, how to box, because it was such a crazy phenomenon of missing and murdering indigenous women with this specific tribe. And I'm mad at myself right now that, you know what I'm saying, it skips my I can't think of it, you feel me? But my hopes in this conversation is that we're able to have, I feel like, a very insightful, ethical conversation. You feel me? Y'all know my motto, education is elevation, around missing and murdered indigenous women, hopefully with some indigenous women that'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, join this conversation. I just dropped the link in the comment section. I'm encouraging, you feel me, specifically indigenous people, indigenous women, to get into the conversation. Shout out to my people on TikTok that, you know what I'm saying, told me this was, you feel me, a topic they wanted to hear about. Shout out to the native women, the 2 native women that was in the comment section on TikTok that really, you know what I'm saying, I feel like made me think about this. You feel what I'm saying? I'm hoping, you feel me, we can have this conversation. A lot of these indigenous women come up missing because man camps around oil fields. Rebecca Aldrich. Hey, shout out to Rebecca Aldrich, you know what I'm saying, for that comment. I think that gives a lot of context in terms of what's going on and how it's going on when it comes to this phenomenon. But I think for in terms of the algorithm, so I think that I want this conversation to be able to reach people. You feel me? I'm just gonna say MMIW, you feel me? And you know what I mean? That's what this title of this video, that's what that stands for. You feel me? So we had that understanding. You know, do folks know organizations to help people of color and search for their loved ones? Man, I'm hoping that we can get at least those 2 young ladies from over on TikTok that told me this is what I'm saying. Hey, shout out. Hey, we got, you feel me? Somebody right here. Shout out to you, young ladies from you know what I'm saying? What your name is, you feel me? What you got going on? We can jump right into the conversation. And shout out to you. Thank you so much. You feel me? I think this is a very needed conversation.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Well, can you hear me? My name is Mariah Brigman, and I'm from the Spokane tribe. So that's in Washington. So I've been following you for quite some time now. So I love what you do.
Man, Spokane. I'm very familiar with Spokane. I've spent some time out there in Spokane a few different times. So yeah, man. Hey, I see you, Eddie, in the back, man. We gonna definitely gonna, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, see how this conversation go right here, unless you wanna, you know what I'm saying, as a white man wanna throw in to this conversation. But right now I'm finna give Mariah the flow to really get us into this phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So you got it, Mariah.
Thank you. So just like some background, like I graduated from Whitworth, and so I had my bachelor's. And what started me, like coming from the res, you don't really hear much about, like, you know, like stuff that happens in your own community, but it ain't talked about, you know, it's just something that happens. So when I went to Whitworth, I had some research projects to do, and I did mine. I was like, I'll just do mine on MMIW. And it was so significant that I was like, you know, like, my heart. So it's been something that I've done for the past few years now, and I've advocated for years. So like one of the things that, and I actually have an interview coming up with Crim 2 News here in Spokane to talk about the differences, to talk about the comparison. So one of the things I just want to mention is like the Indian Urban Health Institute. They did the MMIW article, and they talk about the stats, like the indigenous women are only covered, I think it was 3 to 5% in the media.
Man.
And then like, so you go to today, you know, how much Gabby, like I went to go get some Chinese food and they had the news on, and you know, she was right there, you know, so it's everywhere. So the difference is huge. And just like being an indigenous woman, you know, like we want to make sure, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know this is something that I'm sure we have that fear that it could happen to us. Definitely. And we want to make sure that, like, you know, somebody would like look for us, that we're going to be in the news if that happens to us, and that they'll look for us. So I think that's one of the, you know, because it is heartbreaking what happened to her. Like, we don't want to minimize that.
It's definitely heartbreaking. I want to send the condolences to her family. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to trivialize, you feel me, her death, her life at all, you know, but recognizing, you feel me, with sending those condolences, just recognizing that there is a lack of attention and a lack of dialogue that comes to thinking about specifically indigenous women, especially when we think about this country being able to me, I feel like put a lot of cap in this rap and talking about this is a country of immigrants. You feel me? It's like, hey, when you say shit like that, you are already committing this little erasure to make it where, in my opinion, we get to rationalize with MMIW. You feel me? But just to give the people, you know what I'm saying, this a little bit more context. I just pulled up this article from Newsweek. You feel me? And the headline is what grabbed me. But I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. I'm gonna put it on the screen as well so we can read it together. You know what I'm saying? And where y'all, you know what I mean, no, I feel like sometimes my little country accent, how I enunciate words, you feel me, come off a little you feel me?
that southern accent.
It is what it is, though, you know. But we see over 400 indigenous women went missing over the last decade in the same state as Gabby Petito. Over the last decade, 466 indigenous women were reported missing in Wyoming, the state where 22-year-old Gabby Petito was last seen with her fiance. At least 710 indigenous people went missing from between 2011 and 2020, according to the January report published by Wyoming's Missing and Murdered Indigenous Task Force. Of those disappeared, 57% were female. those numbers also indicate the people who reported and recorded to law enforcement and does not include the cases that were not documented by authorities. To the comment section, to you, Mariah, what is kind of your thoughts, you feel me, after I've read kind of those specific statistics about Wyoming?
It is kind of aggravating. I mean, and I just saw one. I can try to look it up, but I know just in the past 2 weeks, there was 14 also. I think it was either last weekend or the past 2 weeks. And so it's just like back to that invisibility of Native Americans, like how you said the indigenous erasure, and it gets, and like even myself for the advocacy I've tried to do, like every time I try to advocate, I have to check myself because like something else will come back, like something else will like be at the forefront when I'm trying to fight for it and like talk about something. And then like before I would step back, like, oh, okay, well, this is more important, like they're dealing with that, like what's going on right now, like there's COVID, like right now I'm trying to start just like a little example, like I want to do a safe shelter for Indigenous women that's culturally accommodating. Like, so I'm in the process of doing that. And like, just right now, I know with the vaccine mandates, everyone's mad. And I almost like step back, like, okay, right now is not the time to bring that up, but I did it anyway. I was just like, this is important no matter what's going on. Like, it doesn't need to be put to the foreback because like everything, would get like pushed up front before this if that was like continuing to happen. So we got to keep fighting for it. Like how we feel, we got to keep fighting for ourselves is the way I've always felt, is no one's going to do it for us. So we got to do it ourselves.
Agreed. Let's see what we see right here. I see people in the comment section, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely, going off. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in the comment section. I think that in this conversation, you know what I'm saying? I think that we also, you feel me, can think about along with the sensationalizing of kind of Gabby's, you know what I'm saying, death, you feel me, and just the value of her life, and recognizing, as I feel like a lot of us people of color are recognizing that, you feel me, within, all the attention that went over there, you feel me, it also, you feel me, impacting on where, attention was not going. So also, I think from Newsweek, you feel me, a headline that grabbed my mind, that grabbed my focus was families of missing Black girls also frustrated and not surprised by the attention that was, brought to Gabby. And, just thinking about how, just when we think about feminism, the position of women, and how a lot of benevolent sexism operates in terms of shut up, woman, I'm protecting you. And how a lot of that mantra, though in every instance it's always paternalizing and patriarchal and sexist, how it operates in a way to make it where white women are positioned, you feel me, in a particular way that make it where that value is weaponized and or kind of takes the center stage and marginalizes Black and Indigenous women.
Because like when they go missing, like why is that? Like even with Elizabeth Smart, I was thinking about that even before, like with the whole Elizabeth Smart thing, like thinking, because of course with intersectionality, like does money have anything to do with it also because of how much coverage she got? So I don't know. That's kind of been something I'm thinking about, like why is hers so much more important? Does her family have more money? Is it like is it because she's white, or does money have a lot to do with it also? So that's one thing I've been trying to figure out. And like, I mean, like I said, I would hope that if something was to happen to me or my family, that, I mean, I know I'd fight like hell to get them in the media, but I know that's always our worry.
Hey, man, I feel like to answer that question specifically, y'all know my motto is research over me search, right? Education is elevation. Yeah. A term that I feel like has also been sensationalized in media now these past couple hours, is the term missing white woman syndrome. And it's the reason why I'm using the word sensationalize, because I'm recognizing as a Black millennial, I remember growing up thinking of the Peterson case, the Michael Peterson case, you know what I'm saying? I can't think of what, I can't think of, I feel like the Peterson case, you know what I'm saying? What
the pregnant wife, right? I can't.
Yeah, was it Michelle Peterson?
Something like that. I'll look it up.
I'm sitting in front of a laptop right now, though. So you feel me? Like,
But yeah, even go more into that. Like, of course, there's a lot more. And because it's like, well, where do we fit into this subject? Like, why are we pushed back?
Lacey Peterson, that's what it was.
Yeah, it's Lacey Peterson,
Lacey
bro.
Peterson. Lacey Peterson. I remember being young as hell, thinking like, what? Like I'm always in my mind, being a black person, was like, hey, people go missing every day, B. So what is the uniqueness of Lacey Peterson's life in terms of why is it taking over mainstream media? Well, and like that's literally how I thought about it. You feel me? And I think that the term.
Sorry.
You got it.
But what we get also, though, is like when I've seen comments on MMIW posts, and I've gotten them too, like especially on Facebook. Facebook is terrible too. Is they like towards us, towards the MMIW, like, well, all women go missing. Like that's the argument that we get, and I'm like, do they though? Like not 10 times more, and not covered in the media. Like, can you name one indigenous woman that's missing right now? Like that's what I asked. Now I'm like, name one, but you can name all these white women that have went missing. So. Like,
and I think that just shout out to Cody, you feel me? Shout out to Coach K and Cody, you know what I'm saying? I think that definitely, you know what I'm saying, quantifies, you feel me, us to make sure we all familiar with Jelani Day name, face. I've been hearing this person's name a lot.
I just saw this too, yeah.
And I was wanting to make sure that when we hear this name, Jelani Day, that we have I feel like some context on what the hell going on, right? So what we know about missing ISU grad students' disappearance, you feel me? And this is not to take center stage away from missing indigenous women at all and or missing women at all, but I recognize that there is a phenomenon of a lot of the missing people of color and the lack of value that we have for people that look like us that we can identify with because of how they position as being exposable and disposable. You feel me? And so that's the reason why I'm talking about Jelani Day right now.
And that's the statistics what we're learning in the indigenous community also is it's men also. And, looking at the statistics for a lot, like we are like indigenous and black people have, the statistics are high for quite a lot of stuff that's not like stuff like this.
Yeah, definitely. So there's 3 quick things that we need to know about Jelani Day. 25, last seen August 24th, reported missing after he did not show up for class for several days. Days abandoned car was found August 26th in a wooded area near Illinois Valley YMCA in Peru, about 60 miles north of Bloomington in LaSalle County. Third thing is police are asking the public for tips on Day's disappearance nearly a month since he's vanished. So shout out to all my followers, all my people that follow me, you feel me? In was this Indiana or Illinois? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? If you know about his whereabouts, if you know anything was going on, Illinois State University graduate student Jelani JJ Day disappeared August 24th, hasn't been seen since. We know his car was found in Peru, Illinois 2 days later, but an investigation into what happened remains ongoing. His family has criticized the investigation into Day's appearance, saying the young black man has not received the attention of other missing people like that of Gabby Petito, whose disappearance was subsequent death made national headlines and spawned into a multi-search for numerous law enforcement departments. So when it comes to thinking about missing indigenous women, when it comes to thinking about, missing black women, missing people of color, we see that there's a lot of different resources, whether we're thinking about viewership or whether we're thinking about law enforcement, you feel me? There's a lot of resources, you feel me, that's spread thin as soon as particular people come up missing. But on the other end, we see there's a huge phenomenon of other people that also come up missing, and that same energy ain't kept, not even in a blink of breath.
And then they exacerbate all their resources. Yeah.
Hey, but no, what we know though is that if Mariah and her people decide they want to protest some goddamn pipelines, or they want to, you feel me, make sure that whatever treaty that they ancestors signed back 100 years ago is still being made sure, they gonna spread all their resources thin to make sure that those people over there are conforming to whatever the hell they want them to do, regardless of what the terminology says in the treaty, and regardless of how ethical we talking about people having clean water and stuff like that. We know. So when it comes to thinking about how resources is spent on our people,
It was crazy too because I was in Minnesota. I went there and and it's like, you know, you probably heard of, and I seen in the comments too, and it's like the man camps from from the oil fields, the oil rigs, whatever, from all these construction workers, not all, but most. You know, they're the one, like there was 2 from the Minnesota Line 3 pipeline that were like caught for trafficking. And like I know my dad was super worried about me even going, but it's like what you just said, like all those cops guarding a piece of machinery, guarding, you know, some guarding pipe instead of guarding, like watching over people. Like your job is to protect and serve the people, not the corporation, not the material supply pipeline, whatever. So it's crazy.
Yeah. And shout out to Jessica Murray for this comment. She says that in with Jelani, they possibly found his body, but unlike Gabby, it's going to take a few weeks to identify his body compared to a day or 2 for her. Shaking my head. Prayers to her family, but let's keep the same energy. And that's pretty much, I think that to the white people, you feel me, or to the black people that's always sympathizing with white sentiments. That's the main thing that I want to make sure, you feel me, that is being, that's the purpose of what we're talking about right now specifically. Is the last thing that Jessica said. Prayers to her family, but let's keep that same energy. And we're just being critical about the lack of energy when it comes to other bodies, especially when we think about the patriarchal society we live in that's always about protecting women and how we're able to justify a lot of sucker shit based off of the just position of protecting women. And we see, you feel me, through the narrative of protecting women, how all women ain't created equal or all women ain't mattering the same.
Unless it doesn't fit their description or their way of thinking. Like,
and that's the main thing that I want to make sure, you feel me, is, you know what I'm saying, you know, hit home on, you feel me, hit home on, you know. Mariah, you got any ways that we can help out in efforts? You know what I'm saying, specifically in terms of when it comes to the phenomenon of missing Indigenous women, missing and murdered Indigenous women?
I know mostly keep the conversation going, which you're good at. And like, I think what I've helped I mean, right now I just decided to wear, like, we wear red for our sister, for my, I'm too short for that, but then, you know, and I did get a tattoo of the handprint, and it started people asking questions, you know, like, going out more with my earrings, my MMIW earrings and stuff like that, like getting those conversations going. And like I post it all over my social media constantly that I'm sure people are like, okay, we get it. But I'm like, do you though? So, but you know, right. So now, but I mean, I do get people now like come to me for questions. Like one, she's a white person, but she's doing a research project on.
She's doing the work though. She's trying to do the work though, huh?
So I can't be mad at it. I was like, okay, like look up these resources. So, and I do get that quite a bit now, which I'm glad. So like people are hearing me, like, so yeah, just keep the conversation going. Make sure that, I mean, you guys do include Indigenous people, but mainly for the white people, we got to keep that conversation going.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I think that there's a long tradition and history of a lot of different regions of Black people having a lot of different relationships with different tribes of Indigenous people. And I think that I try to make sure that my platform is able to recognize that, you feel me, and as well as being critical of anti-Blackness within the Indigenous community. And I try to make sure that I'm purposeful and intentional with both of when I do both of those things. You feel me? So thank you. Definitely. I want to thank you. You feel me? Definitely want to thank you for putting this on my mental and making it where we have a nice, you feel me, way, a nice and purposeful way, you feel me, of starting episode 4 of Conscious Conversations. You feel me? This is what I do every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central. You know what I'm saying, Mariah? If you ever want to pull up, you feel me? This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? This is the new thing. It's gonna be just episode 4. So I'm also open to, you know what I'm saying, criticisms. You feel me? And too, when I drop that link in the comment section, that's for anybody to hop on. You feel me?
All
so
right.
You know, if you ever feel like you want to, you know what I'm saying, I hope I make you feel real comfortable.
Of course.
And I ask and I drop that link in there that you feel like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna hit the link and come talk to consciously tonight. You feel me? So, you know, appreciate you. Definitely appreciate
you. I'll try not to bug you too much now. Thanks for having me.
Shout out to everybody in Spokane. Definitely to my indigenous people in Spokane. You know what I'm saying? And what tribe you say you was from again? Oh, she dipped out there quick. Yeah. But hey, I'm finna let y'all know right now. We finna have a great conversation. You know what I'm saying? With Eddie. You feel me? If y'all seen last week's episode with Seabass had a lot of shit to talk about when it came to Eddie Liger specifically. You feel me? And I knew, you know what I mean, I was gonna be able to get Eddie on. You know what I'm saying? And I knew, you feel me, I wanted to hear what he was coming about, right? Before I bring Eddie on, though, I just want to remind y'all that tomorrow we having a great conversation. We usually go live on Monday nights, you feel me? But hey, things happen, life happens sometimes. So we're going live tomorrow on my podcast, you feel me? You know, and just to make sure y'all know what time it is.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.
And that's the podcast, the Chop Up Show, available on all podcasting platforms, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. What's going on, Eddie?
Hey, Lee, how's it going?
Hey, and for the people that don't know who you are, you feel me, just gonna give us a little quick introduction, and then I ain't even gonna bullshit you. Gonna jump straight into the conversation.
All right. My name's Eddie Liger Smith on TikTok. Run a little website with my buddy Carlos and a handful of other socialists and left-wing activists from around the country and actually internationally as well, called Midwestern Marks. So, yeah.
Hey, Midwestern Marks, man. So cutting straight to the case, you feel me? You was able to see last week's episode. I seen that you was able to post some clips, you feel me? Really, you can get straight into it. And right now I'm going live on TikTok too. So I know how TikTok work. They'll let, you know what I'm saying, Seabass if you want to pull up this, that, and the other. But what's your thoughts? What is your responses? There were a lot of accusations that was made. There was a lot of, you feel me, things that was said, you feel me? You know what I mean? And too, this one I'm being transparent. I did give him some pushback. You feel me? I did give him some pushback in terms of what's going on, but I ain't gonna cap. There was some criticisms that he made about white leftists specifically that I feel like, hey, it got some substance too. You know what I'm saying? But just specifically when it comes to his attacks to you, as you feel me, as a person, like I'm just what's your, you know.
Yeah, if people want to watch, I did like a Twitch stream basically watching yours and Seabass's conversation and then responding to pretty much every argument he's made, because this has been going on for a while now, where he's kind of targeted me. It started a while back with a debate surrounding Venezuela, and now his main accusation has been that I deny ethnic cleansing or that I deny genocides. The main one that he generally brings up is the supposed genocide of the Crimean Tatars in 1944. So what ended up happening, I mean, I can go into that one if you want.
Yeah, hey, and too, me being a debater, when you say supposed, what you mean by that specifically?
So there's actually an intense scholarly and legal debate as to whether it should be recognized as a genocide or not. Okay. So I say suppose because the way that Seabass presents it is that this question has been settled, right? It's done and over with. We know this is a genocide, and Eddie denies, that it happened, which, not even true. There were human rights abuses that went on, absolutely. But I just think, we need to look deeper into these narratives. And what I told Seabass every time he accused me of denying this genocide was that I haven't looked into it. But in the last week, preparing to go on this show, I've read a lot about it. And basically what happened was Muslims and people of color faced horrible oppression in Imperial Russia prior to the Soviet Union in the 1917 revolution. Right. And after the revolution, conditions for Muslim people in the Soviet Union did improve, including the Crimean Tatars. And I think I have some notes about it, but I left them in my backpack at school. But in 1944, about 20,000 of them or so is the estimate, joined the German army. So at that time, that would have been the Nazis. So then there was a mass deportation, not even actually a deportation, because People in the region weren't moved out of the Soviet Union. They were moved to elsewhere in the Soviet Union. And Stalin claimed that this was just those who were collaborating with the Nazis who would be deported. But, you know, it was terrible, forced deportation, definite human rights abuse. You know, people died for sure. And it was labeled as, you know, just a regular human rights abuse until recently a political party in Crimea who have, you know, basically become an arm of the Ukrainian government, one of the most far-right governments in the world, retroactively went back and are now, you know, saying in the international courts that this should be labeled as a genocide, right? That this deportation that happened in 1944 should now be recognized as a genocide. And this is going on, obviously, as there's a great conflict between Ukraine and Russia over Crimea specifically. So where this event happened. So there's great geopolitical importance for them to now be pushing for this. And also the U.S. is backing this party.
Okay.
Who are advocating for this. So I'm not, you know, I'm not saying it wasn't a human rights abuse.
Yeah, okay. I see y'all having a linguistic debate about T definition, you feel me, ethnic cleansing, you feel me? And I'm just curious because I'm just curious, what is the legal threshold for something being referred to as an ethnic cleansing? Like 20,000 ain't enough. What, it got to be 100,000? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I see someone in the comments says rationalizing genocide. Again, not rationalizing this. We're talking about the specific question of whether this can legally be justified as a genocide or not, which is there's a great scholarly article called The Legal Question about the deportation of the Crimean Tatars. And what they spell out or explain is the exact specific legal definition of what characterizes a genocide. So they for it to be a genocide, there has to be an intention to erase a community's culture, right? A deliberate intention, like the easiest example is Hitler in the Holocaust. His intention was, you know, ethnic cleansing, to erase entire ethnicities through violence. And
you're saying that in this instance, the intention was deportation.
That is the debate. I'm not saying I'm not an expert on this. The legal study that I read today makes me think, you know, it's really a semantics argument. Do we label it a human rights abuse or do we label it a genocide? And, you know, is the party who's trying to retroactively label it a genocide doing so for geopolitical reasons or because they're actually concerned about the Crimean Tatars? Because there's also been lots of oppression, you know, by the Tatars from the Ukrainian government, you know, so it's not necessarily the right move to just jump on whatever the Ukrainian government says. But yeah, that was my distinction. It's hard to explain these things in TikTok comments, right? Like there's a semantics difference between human rights abuses and genocide. But Seabass has been coming at me for like 3 months, and his whole thing is you know, Eddie defends genocide. He defends ethnic cleansing. No, I'm saying this event was horrible. It was terrible. I'm saying there's a legal question as to why it's being labeled a genocide. And there are different geopolitical interests going on in Ukraine that I think we need to be aware of and give the context about if we're going to talk about this issue.
Hey, education is elevation. You just put me on some game that I'm definitely going to go and research up and get my own perspective on, because I can't even really be like, because it was like, yeah, you feel me? But just keeping the conversation going, though, what was the so he also said some shit about you endorsing ivermectin and the you feel me, like what's that about?
I mean, just people need to watch Victoria Hammett's most recent video.
Okay,
so she's a creator with us on TikTok, and Seabass recently came at her, and she basically, I guess Seabass said that I was pushing ivermectin on my young audience, and Victoria explains in the video that none of my videos were pushing ivermectin. I made one video saying that in countries who are being targeted by the vaccine apartheid, which is where Western countries are going to the World Trade Organization and making it so that intellectual property laws create a situation where pharmaceutical companies outside of the big, giant, rich Western pharmaceutical companies aren't allowed to import the drug, the vaccine, and they're not allowed to manufacture the vaccine. So in countries like that, there are people who are resorting to taking ivermectin because the United States and other Western pharmaceutical companies are blocking them from getting the actual real vaccine. So I said, we probably shouldn't mock people like this, and we should understand that there's a vaccine apartheid, and not everybody has access to the free vaccine that we have in the West. In the global South, they're purposely being choked off. And then I made 2 videos after that saying, don't take ivermectin. And Victoria talked about that too in her TikTok.
Oh, well, damn. Hey, to the people on TikTok, man, I know, you know what I'm saying, homie might be up. Y'all tag Seabass in this TikTok video, man, and see just, you feel me? Because I just seem like I'm just curious now, just for some clarity on some things. Because it's like, bro, these the main 2 things you was saying he was coming about, folk, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that in Venezuela that
was the other thing too. Venezuela, you feel me? He said that his family live in Venezuela and that you support authoritarianism.
Right.
Is that what the argument is?
Yeah, his argument is that I support, dictatorship, and I just throw my support behind Maduro, the current president of Venezuela. And then he also claims that he debunked my senior thesis, which is a 30-page argumentative essay about Venezuela. Seabass claims he debunked it in 15 seconds on TikTok. So I don't know. We could talk about what's in the thesis or not. But yeah, I'm willing to talk about anything with Venezuela. That's like one of my favorite topics, and that'd be fun to discuss a little bit if you're down.
Hey, you can put me on game, bro. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You put me on game. I know a little. I don't care. I know a little bit about international relations. I have a little bit of knowledge about, you feel me, what our government was doing in terms of trying to make sure the Venezuela government, people that was running it, was friendly to American corporations and American interests. I have a little bit of knowledge about it, but I don't know a lot. You feel what I'm saying? So you can go on and lay it out for us and the people, because education is elevation. And you feel me? I started this episode with quoting U.E.P. Newton. It's probably why the people that you about to put us on game didn't like his ass, because he used to make quotes like think globally and act locally. And I imagine, Eddie, what you about to tell us about Venezuela, about what our government, because you got to think about it, you know what I'm saying? For all the people, you know what I'm saying, that's watching this shit, that's like, man, we black, we indigenous, we brown, we got our own shit going on. Why the fuck we care what's going on? Whatever. The reason why we care, I'm talking fast now. The reason why we care, though, the reason why we should care, is that the way in which resources are used internationally has a direct impact on how resources are not used, and or, you feel me, it's influencing what happens in America. And that's what I've learned in debate. You feel me? But just, Eddie, you know what I'm saying, let us know. Hey, and to the people on TikTok, I'm about to end this TikTok live. You feel me? If you're trying to jump in this conversation, I'm also gonna be dropping the link in the comment section. So if you a Seabass supporter, and I guess you want to come and talk for Seabass's help, you know what I'm saying, part, and you want to say, Eddie, that's a misrepresentation of this, that, and the other, go on and encourage you to come on the Consciously on YouTube, though. That's where we at, man. Every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central. Eddie, take it away.
All right. So Venezuela was for years basically treated like many countries in the global South, targeted for their resources. Rockefeller Standard Oil and British Dutch Shell were the name of the companies who were extracting Venezuela's oil. And Venezuela has the largest oil reserves of any country on the planet. So obviously we know the U.S. Loves oil. They can make a lot of money off of oil. So through the course of...
shout out the Raven, too. Shout out the Raven. My bad.
So Ben's here, too. What's up, Ben? So through the course of the last century, Venezuela developed what economists termed Dutch disease, which means that one of their industries was so prominent, their oil industry, that all of their other industries lagged behind. And this is because the Western multinationals set up what's called export capital in like Leninist Marxist terms, where they export oil drills, stuff like that, to Venezuela, extract the natural resources, take it back to the West for sale or for sale elsewhere for the enrichment of Western multinationals. In 1998, in 1992, Hugo Chavez attempts a coup, basically coming to power via revolution. It fails, but 6 years later, in 1998, he is able to come to power democratically via election. Now, at that time, he was saying, we are going to try and work with the U.S., right? We are going to try and trade with them and be partners with them. What he realized quickly was that he couldn't do what he wanted to do as long as the U.S. was involved. The Venezuelan oil company, PDVSA, was heavily controlled by Western multinationals and Western executives. And what Chavez wanted to do was the company was already nationalized, which means it belongs to the government. But there was so much Western control of it. It was still being siphoned by these multinationals. So Chavez had to do what he called renationalizing PDVSA, where basically he fired anybody associated with Western imperialist countries from the PDVSA, and then reinvested that money in a series of social programs like the Misiones. And there's a great article.
Just for context. So when Seabass is talking shit about authoritarian, is he calling Hugo like a dictator?
I think he's talking about Maduro, the current president. I'm not sure what he says about Hugo, actually. He seems to be more sympathetic towards Hugo.
Okay, I'm just curious. My bad.
You're good. You're good for sure.
I'm trying to figure out specifically what is his beef about your narrative and your analysis about Venezuela outside of the big buzzwords about, you know what I'm saying, dictatorship and authoritarianism. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, and two, before you go back into the story, can you let the people know how do you define authoritarianism and how do you define dictatorship, and how does those two definitions work in this historical analysis you're giving us about Venezuela?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, I would characterize authoritarianism as, government repression of political groups and of democracy. And there are cases of that in Venezuela, and I've said that on Venezuela Analysis, which is this really great website with all these investigative journalists on the ground in Venezuela. They are critical of some of the things that the Venezuelan police and the Venezuelan military have done at the behest of Chavez. There are a lot of communists and leftists who are critical of the main socialist party in Venezuela and are critical of what the police have done. I've been critical of that too. I actually published a critique of the current president Maduro on my channel. So I would say authoritarianism is the government repressing the people. But also some level of authority is needed to overthrow the dictatorial, colonialist, imperialist governments that Venezuela had in the past. Like, it took a coup attempt in 1992, and then Chavez grew to popularity through the trade unions, which allowed him to take power in 1998. So there needs to be some level of self-defense, which sometimes people term as authoritarianism. But authoritarianism is, for me, when the police begin targeting the people, because my support for Venezuela is never support of Maduro or even Chavez, even though he's someone I respect and admire. My support is for the people of Venezuela, for the Bolivarian Revolution. I lived the coup of Hugo Chavez in Caracas. The traitor Caldera set him free until he hijacked democracy. I mean, he was removed by a US coup. And so going back into my story, or going back into the history, after he renationalized the PDVSA and invested, holy cow, nice.
Damn.
And invested in all these
situational therapists. Hey, folks, we got to get you back on too, so we can get into mental health, bro, and get into, some real live shit, because you made a video I seen, you feel me, about you almost being Candace Owens, bro. And that shit blew my mind. Like, word. So I want to talk to you about it, fam. So we holler at me, bro. You got my number, shoot me a text, and we gonna get you a date. My bad, Eddie. You got it, bro.
No, you're good. So after Chavez renationalized PDVSA, kicked out the Western interests, and attempted to reinvest that money in social programs, is when the U.S. did a coup. Demonstrations in the streets and mass support from the Venezuelan people actually caused something unprecedented to happen, and the U.S. brought Chavez back, put him back in power.
Hold on. So the U.S. didn't like Hugo Chavez, and then some shit happened, and then it was like Hugo good, and then they put him back and help him get back in power.
They didn't think he was good, but the Venezuelan people were ready to riot. They were out in the street doing mass protests, and the U.S. realized that they were going to have a total disaster on their hands if they didn't return Chavez to power after they ousted him. So everyone should look up. There's a really great article by Counterpunch called "The Legacy of Hugo Chavez" that'll go through all of the statistical gains that were made for the working classes after he reinvested in these social programs. one, I like to point out there were decreases in malnutrition, increases in tuition-free college, which are great, decreases in poverty, decreases in extreme poverty, and the one I always like to bring up, increases in literacy. So, you know, oftentimes in the West,
education is elevation, damn it.
Yeah. We take it, you know, yeah, and we take for granted in the US, you know, the ability to read. Like a lot of us grow up with that ability, you know, those of us who are well off, you know, that's still a struggle for people in the US. But in Venezuela, they massively increase literacy by something like, I don't know, like 30% by building these schools and by building these misiones, using the money that was reinvested from the social programs. Around 2013, when Chavez dies, the global oil prices go way down. And because Venezuela's economy is so dependent on oil, because their economy is so dependent on oil, the drop in global oil prices put them in a more destitute, more negative economic situation. And after that is when the sanctions from the U.S. really ramp up. The U.S. had sanctioned them before, but at the current state, there are 166 sanctions on Venezuela. And a UN reporter recently said that this has decreased their government revenue, which was going into funding all these social programs, as well as like 10,000 communes that had been established. Their government revenue since the U.S. sanctions dropped 99%. But the U.S. has also increased troop presence both in Colombia and around the Caribbean. And there was one situation where the Iranian government attempted to send Venezuela 4 tankers of oil, disobeying the U.S. blockade. The U.S. intercepted the oil tankers, brought them back to Houston, and gave them to a U.S. company. So when we think of sanctions, we think of them as not being like real warfare, you know, but this is the U.S. military surrounding this country and stealing their exports and imports so that they can try and strangle the people as they funnel money into the right-wing opposition party and Juan Guaido to try and get rid of the current government in power.
Okay. Hey, I see. Hey,
yeah. So, hey, Eddie, Seabass is in the building. Seabass is in the building. So we would like for y'all to have, you know, a respectful dialogue. You feel me?
Respectful dialogue. I feel like I can. Hey, Damo, hey, you good? I'm about to bring in this facilitation skills in. You feel me? And you got me. You know what I'm saying? Back. You feel me? Backstage if I need. You know what I'm saying? Any assistance? But I think I'm good, brother.
Got you.
I think you're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So hey, yeah, so Seabass, I'm about to bring you on, right? I'm gonna let you reintroduce yourself. Before y'all start going back and forth, I got a timer today, goddamn it. I got a timer, folks. I got a timer, bro. You know, I'm really a debater. You feel me? Shout out to all my policy debaters, all my parliamentary debaters, all my Lincoln Douglas debaters. Shout out to all my debaters, goddamn it. We gonna have some structure in this motherfucker tonight. You feel what I'm saying? So we gonna have a little timer because I know Seabass, how he was talking last week, he got some smoke. So just to make sure we keep it smooth, cool, and groovy like an Austin Powers movie, I'm about to bring you on, Seabass. Let you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Tell her, you know what I mean? Introduce yourself to the people again. And then I got this timer. Damo. Curious, actually. Damo, curious. How much time, folks? 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, a 5-minute speech.
I think we should give him 5 minutes for that first speech.
Just because I know he's about to Eddie. Hey, Eddie, you know what you got yourself into, Eddie. He knew he was gonna pull up. You feel what I'm saying? I think that the reason why I value argumentation, you feel me? I'm about to bring you on, but the reason why I value argumentation is because I recognize that there is a lot of education that comes from people being able to use facts and be able to use studies and be able to use research to be able to quantify a claim, to be able to justify a claim and be able to provide a warrant to. And I know that a lot of people attract to me specifically because the ways in which I've been able to deploy debate and argumentation to be able to, you know, education is elevation. You feel what I'm saying? So Seabass, who you be, who you are, you feel me? What's going on? And then we're gonna jump right into it, fam. We ain't even gonna bullshit.
Hey guys, sorry, I look like shit, but yeah, I'm Seabass. Some of you guys might have seen my content. I was born in Colombia. I've seen a lot of guys speculating where I'm from. One of my grandparents is from Venezuela. One of my grandparents is from Ecuador. My mom grew up in a small town, well, in the city, Cucuta, in the border with Colombia and Venezuela. So I grew up going into like Venezuela back and forth. You know, I've been in LA these past few days. Today I went to TikTok actually, and
okay,
because as some of you guys might know, I've been getting doxxed. Victoria Hammond and I had a little encounter. She made a video about me that got me doxxed, and then when I DM'd her at 6 a.m. telling her like, hey, I'm getting doxxed, bro, she blocked me. And she did not message me again until 6 p.m. And to this day, she still has not asked how I'm doing, which is why she thinks only one account doxed me. If you go to her video, she's saying like, oh yes, he was only doxed by one account. No, dude, it's been like multiple days of my address being messaged to me, accounts popping up, you know, shit like that. So it's been really fucked up. Victoria has no idea because she hasn't even asked how I'm doing. I've been speaking to my lawyer, bro. Let me tell you. So I went to TikTok. And I've already messaged them a lot just about Eddie's misinformation. I've tried to like, and I don't want him to platform. Like, I've just tried to like tell him like, you know, like when I report his videos for misinformation, like just listen to me, because when you do, it's like the people don't know that it's misinformation. You feel me? So they just put him back up. And then when I went to TikTok and I asked for a diversity coordinator, this white girl was like, nah. And I'm like, dude, I just need a diversity coordinator on Zoom. That's it. And she was like, nah. And then I explained the situation, and all these people heard was Latino with a gun, bro. So I went to my car. I called my lawyer, right? And my lawyer's like, dude, you're going to have to go to the Culver City Police Department and let them know that you're not going to fucking, like, they're probably looking for a Latino with a gun right now. And you're going to have to walk into a police department and prove your mental state. And that was my day, bro. And a cop came out and he's like, I don't care why you're here. And you know what I said to this fucking cop, bro? Because I'm Venezuelan, bro. 6 million dead Jews, bro. Shut the fuck up. I said that to a cop today, Eddie. I'm all out of fucks, bro. You feel me? So my lawyer is in on this. And as far as Victoria goes, I know Anthony saw that video. Like the reason I went on Anthony's stream is because someone told me he played that video on his stream. Where I was begging.
Well, listen though. So no, we can already. Now, yeah, you good? Listen though. On some G shit, just looking out for you. When it comes to whatever legal case and whatever your lawyers got going on, me just having a little bit of legal knowledge, I know this to protect yourself and try to win your case. Yeah, you know. Feel
I'm
me?
just
You
letting
know.
people know, bro. I'm just, as far as I and about myself, bro, what TikTok doesn't know and what you guys don't know, because you guys all think I'm like an egomaniac. Dude, I'm a serious writer, bro. I have a book coming out soon. You feel me? I know people at the New York Times. I know people at the fucking New Yorker, bro. I'm a serious fucking writer, all right? You all treat me like I'm a fucking
Hey, with Seabass.
Let me tell you one thing, Lee. Let me tell you one thing, bro. Out of all the people I ever tagged in a fucking video, bro, you were the only one who immediately understood in one video, bro. Not one of these fucking white leftists got what I meant, bro. I saw you wrote a comment and you deleted it. And I was like, fuck, I wonder what that meant. And then I came on your stream and you knew what the beef was, bro. You knew I had fucking beef and you knew it was legitimate beef. And you as a black man understood that, bro. So, hey, whatever you need, bro, I got you, bro. Because I hope by the end of this, you'll see I'm fighting a good fight. And you were the only person who listened to me. You and a Jewish libertarian who lost family in the fucking Holocaust, bro.
Yo, hey, with that being said, then.
All I'm saying is,
with that being said, though, Seabass, that's how we're gonna do it, though. That's how we're gonna do it. Because you know, as somebody with debate knowledge, the only way a debate can work unless we have a clear side and a clear understanding of what the debate topic is. You feel what I'm saying? So just before we even start a timer, before we even, you feel me? You are the challenger. You feel me? You saying that Eddie full of shit. So I know that you made 3 claims. Before you got on, Eddie gave us a little historical analysis specifically about your claim about ethnic cleansing that's going on in Russia and specifically about what's going on in Venezuela, right?
Wait, he said, dude, I missed the stream. What did he say about ethnic cleansing in Russia?
Listen. This how we're going to do it, though. This how we're going to do it, though. I'm about to ask you, first of all, what is the topic?
Well, I'll be honest, Lee. So you're asking me to prove that I know more about Eddie than
no. We're not doing that. We're not doing. No, listen. wait.
He's gonna say that.
Hold on. I'm not asking you to I'm asking you to have that same energy you had last week when you were saying it with your whole chest, and you had 3 discrete
I'll talk
points.
about it. I know more about him than Venezuela. You feel me? I just find it offensive.
But this is what I'm saying though. For this debate, because Eddie's saying he know. This is what we're saying though. This is what we're saying.
All right, let's fucking prove it, bro. We'll talk about whatever we can talk about.
Hey, but like, okay, I ain't gonna do you like that then. Do you want? So you speaking first, Seabass?
Soviet massacres and Venezuela, bro. Soviet massacres.
Okay, you speaking first, Eddie? You speaking? I mean, you speaking first, Seabass? Or you speaking first? Or you want to speak first to last, Seabass?
He can talk about Joseph Stalin all he wants first, bro. Let him go ahead, please.
Well, before you were,
yeah, Eddie.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I would like you, because I've made like 3 or 4 videos about you, and they've been responses. You've now made over 100 videos about me, so I would like to hear what your accusation against me is, so then I can respond to it in detail. Because there's been so many now, you know, I don't even know where to start. Like, before you were on, we were talking.
Okay, let's start by you repeat anything you read, bro. I counted 46 videos on you. You read in a comment that someone made 100 plus videos and you've been repeating it day by day. I literally posted a video addressed to
No, Eddie. I counted them too. There's more than 100. Promise. You can go look right now. There's more than 100. Anyone can go look.
I counted 50 and okay, dude, it's worth.
Oh, only 50? Gotcha.
So I've been begging white people for help. I had to make 50 videos about your fucking misinformation, and you think it's funny because you're so fucking stupid that you don't fucking know. Okay,
don't get mad, Seabass. Just
hold on, Eddie. You got 5 minutes, Eddie. So you might want to bring you out a little on some debate shit. I'm stopping the time. I'm pausing it. You feel me? I'm gonna restart it at 4:30. That's how we gonna do it though. He gonna talk his shit. Whatever he say, he gonna say, right? Don't cut him off though. And listen, bring you out a little pen, and you gonna jot down the shit you want to talk about specifically. Seabass, I hope I would ask. I like your shit. Listen, Seabass, talk your shit, but listen, try to give us some substantive arguments and not so many insults that you know what I'm saying. Like on some debate shit, you feel me? Give us some arguments about claims he made and the impact of those claims. You feel me? Because last week you was talking about your family, Venezuela, and shit like that. You feel me? I'm trying to be a moderator. I ain't got no dog in this fight. I'm here to learn.
Fair enough, bro.
I recognize that I don't know much about the topic, so with anything y'all gonna say on this topic, I'm about to learn. When Seabass come back, he got 4. I'm about to restart the timer. You feel me? 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And all I ask is that when he going, Eddie, you don't cut him off, let him talk his shit, and then you let me. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to prepare your thoughts, and then I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to respond, and then we're gonna go from there. All right?
Sounds good.
Bet. It's on you, Seabass.
Okay, man. So I actually agree with a lot of what Eddie says on Hugo Chavez. He did help a lot of people. And that's why I liked seeing Eddie on my For You page, bro, because I liked having a Marxist perspective that sort of gave me a different perspective that I really wasn't used to. But then when I realized half of it was misinformation, and you know, like the first time he was on my For You page, he was using a Venezuelan government state-run website called Telesur. Now, if you know anything about Venezuela, they had a lot of fight with freedom of the press. Bro, that's really distracting. Sorry, the time.
All right, yeah, my bad. I'm the timer.
I feel you, bro. Can you let me know when I have 90 seconds, 45 seconds, and 15 seconds? I've debated before too, so thanks, bro. Like in school and shit. So Venezuela like had a big fight over freedom of the press, and Eddie, like if you look at the sources he uses, it's mixed, like it's biased. You feel me? Like, and he's not educated enough to recognize what's biased and what's not, and he uses it as fact. All his sources are very biased. He doesn't really read. He's gonna say he reads the Wall Street Journal like once a week, but he really doesn't, because he would know a lot of the things that are in the Wall Street Journal if that was the case. So my problem with Hugo Chavez is more what he did. He had a coup, and then he fucked with the Constitution. Then he added 12 Supreme Court justices to the Supreme Court. So he rose to power democratically, but he became very authoritarian and corrupt. Not very authoritarian, but he did become very corrupt. He did have a lot of popular support, which is why he was able to stay in power. My problem with Eddie's stupidity is Nicolás Maduro. He's a fucking idiot, bro. Like Nicolás Maduro, like, basically, the party hinged all of Venezuela's policies on oil, which pretty much collapsed in 2013. The U.S. was their biggest client. So not only did they lose their biggest client, but inflation just ate them up because the price of oil crashed, right? And then Nicolás Maduro comes and he loses the election. And he thinks it's a right-wing party. It's a coalition of many parties, including indigenous, bro, like indigenous coalitions who lost by supermajority in 2015. So you know what Nicolás Maduro did? He made a whole new Congress, bro. So it's like as if Juan Guaido is sort of Nancy Pelosi and Trump tried to steal the election by making a new Congress. And Nancy Pelosi declared herself interim president. And that's pretty much what happened, bro. And Eddie had no idea. And look at him just fucking blinking like a fucking idiot because he just realized he's fucking clueless, bro. So, and then even if you go on my page, there's like Venezuelan like Chavistas, bro, who say like, yeah, Maduro's an idiot, bro. Like, I don't get why he has to excuse my country's dictator just because he likes fucking Marxism, bro. Like, I read Marx when I was fucking 12 years old because we grow up on this shit, bro. There's been guerrillas in my country fighting for Marxism since I'm a fucking kid. I've transcended your childish 200-year-old fucking ideology, bro. You feel me? Like, China is state capitalism. They have capitalism. They have improved their economy through capitalism. The Nordic countries have a safety net because of capitalism. The ex-Nazis in Germany, where my ex-girlfriend lives, dude, she paid fucking like $1,000 a year for her master's degree. Oh no, capitalism cannot be good. Oh my fucking God. All we need to do is make sure that capitalism takes care of the global south, bro. That those people, so in Colombia, 90 seconds, in Colombia, there was a movement for the banana workers. What's your point? Man, I hate these fucking people. There was a movement for the banana workers where it was just global unionization, bro. Like there's ways that you can fix capitalism that doesn't take 200 years and taking over the world with a new system to fucking understand. And you don't need to excuse ethnic cleansing to believe in that system either, bro. Eddie believes the Holodomor happened because of the fucking kulaks. He doesn't realize all the food in Ukraine was going to the fucking Soviet Union anyway, bro. You feel me? Like they burned their food. Yeah, the food that they weren't gonna get anyway because they were fucking starving, bro. So yeah, Eddie's an idiot and he doesn't know shit. Thank you very much.
Hey, Eddie. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to, you know what I'm saying, clear, you know what I'm saying, collect your thoughts. You feel me? I know how, you know what I mean. I know how debate work. I know how debate speeches work, especially when you about to make a rebuttal. Give you a couple seconds, clear your thoughts, think about how you gonna, you know what I'm saying, answer that real fast. You feel me? Shout out to Seabass. You feel me? This gave us, I guess, his response. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. Like I've responded to all these arguments before. It's always, you know, a collection of insults against me, and then it's, you know, jumping around to different human rights abuses. You know, this happened in the Soviet Union, this happened in Ukraine, this happened in Venezuela. Eddie supports all of this, so I'll just try and start with what he said. First of all, about Telesur, it's a logical fallacy to actually attack somebody's source without attacking the information in the source. So like I would like to have a debate about what specifically was in that Telesur source that I was sharing.
Government propaganda, bro.
Telesur is, it is the media arm of the Venezuelan state government. However, there are a lot of great journalists in the United States like Abby Martin, Ben Norton, and others who have been blackballed from the American media because they provide a different stance and an anti-imperialist stance on countries like Venezuela, and then they go and report for Telesur, right? So there are good things that are put out for Telesur, and there are things that Telesur puts out that are probably propaganda in favor of the government. But a study from Ben Norton at fair.org, I think it was Ben Norton, it might have been someone else, but fair.org found that Venezuela actually has more diversity in their media than us. Actually, can you mute him or something?
Yeah. Hey,
so like,
this how this work though, Seabass. You can't cut them out, folk. You can make your faces. You can do all this shit. You can do whatever you want. Just don't cut them off. So I'm gonna keep you on. Don't unmute the mic. He got 3 minutes and really 45 seconds, but 3 minutes, like 3 minutes and 41. So I'm gonna give him 4 seconds after they go out. But listen, just give them that. I'm gonna give y'all time rebuttal, and then we're gonna let the people decide. You feel what I'm saying? What I will tell y'all though on some debate shit, y'all better start framing these arguments a little better, goddamn it, and letting us know exactly what arguments is being made. Because as a person that, you feel me, understand debate, I am kind of lost on what arguments is being made. I'm about to stop the timer though, and I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let Eddie speak his thing though.
So fair.org, everyone should look it up. The title of the article is, I believe, there's more diversity in Venezuelan media than in the muzzled U.S. corporate media or something like that. But basically, Telesur makes up like 24% of Venezuela's media, and about 75% of it is actually privately owned, and about 50% of it is pro-opposition, anti-Maduro, anti-socialist party in Venezuela. Versus the United States, where there is not one single media source in all of corporate media against interventionism in Venezuela, right? That doesn't mean there's not any single pro-Maduro sources in the U.S. That means there's not a single source who is not advocating for the sanction and overthrow of the Venezuelan government. This is how imperialist and hegemonic our media is towards this country, which is why I spend so much time spreading awareness about the sanctions and about U.S. regime change efforts. That being said, there are critiques of Maduro. Seabass was talking about the Chavistas. Yes, Venezuela Analysis, that website I was talking about, platforms a lot of Chavistas. We were talking about this before he got on stream. That's why I published a critique of Maduro on my website, written by me, because there are critiques to be made of Maduro, and there are major critiques that the Chavistas on the ground have made of Maduro, and I have, voiced support for that because, as I've said, my support is for the Venezuelan people, the Venezuelan socialists on the ground, not any Venezuelan political leaders. I don't think cult of personality is necessarily helpful. Also, the idea that the Venezuelan leaders made the country too dependent on oil. We also talked about this before the stream. Yes, you could criticize their socialist policies and said they invested too much money in social programs to immediately raise conditions rather than trying to diversify their economy. But the reason their economy developed Dutch disease and a reliance on an oil industry was because of British Petroleum and Rockefeller Standard Oil extracting oil from Venezuela for years, so all their other industries lagged behind in a very colonialist fashion, in a way that enriched Western multinationals and didn't allow Venezuela to develop themselves with their own resources. Also, Sebastian said that I saw that someone in the chat laughing about this. He called Juan Guaido and the opposition party like a left-wing coalition. That's absolutely insane. If Juan Guaido and the opposition party were to win election, they would immediately give the U.S. everything they want, allow those Western multinationals to prey on Venezuela's oil, which is why the CIA, USAID, and these other arms of the U.S. State Department have funneled so much money into the opposition and into Guaido. And then you also said, let's make sure we can fix capitalism and make sure it doesn't destroy the global South. I just want to hear what your plan for that would be, because, the only capitalism that's ever existed has been one where capital has accumulated in the Western majority white nations, and they have extracted tons of resources and cheap labor from the global South. So I'm curious what this plan that you have is to fix capitalism so it no longer exploits the global South and no longer is imperialist in nature. And that's all I got.
That's all you got. Hey, this how we gonna do it. You feel me? I thought about having a cross sex, but I feel like that'd be too crazy for y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? So this how we gonna do it. This how we gonna do it. 3.5 minutes for a rebuttal. I'm not sure if you caught all of that, Seabass, but yeah, 3.5 minutes for the rebuttal, and you feel me? Take it away.
You're switching the goalposts, bro, because we're going to talk about Venezuela, and we're going to talk about Russia, like I said, Russian atrocities, and now he's asking me for my plan for capitalism. Now, I've made videos on that, and we can talk about that later, but that's not what we're here to discuss today. Honestly, I'm getting very irritated to have to prove to this white man that I fucking know what I'm talking about my country. Notice how he did not mention anything about Maduro making a whole new Congress. Bro, he seems to think that I excuse imperialism. I hate U.S. imperialism. I speak up against it on my page all the time. I've spoken up about what they do to Guatemala, what they did to Colombia. Dude, I speak up against U.S. fucking imperialism all the fucking time, all right? I don't support fucking regime change in Venezuela. I just don't support the authoritarians who starve my fucking family. It's not that hard to fucking understand, bro. And I'm not even talking about Chavez. See, I'm not race dropping, bro. It's just my family. Like, that's what you fucking white people don't get, bro. My family is being starved by Maduro. This guy eats at salt-based $1,000 steaks. You feel me? And tells people to eat their fucking pets. And Eddie made a video. See, you see all these like eye rolls, bro? No, that's my family. Like, I don't give a fuck what you guys think.
Hey, listen. Hey, I'm about to pause
and if Eddie could answer
I'll
just have one question for Eddie. One question for Eddie. Who's Merrick Garland?
Court justice in the U.S.
He's a Supreme Court justice?
Or he's the one that Obama wanted to appoint, right?
Uh-huh. And what happened to him?
What does that have to do with Venezuela?
I've made so many videos on how Hugo Chavez...
I don't watch your videos.
Yes, Hugo Chavez stacked the court. And you made a video saying you support authoritarianism in Venezuela because Merrick Garland and Joe Biden and I don't know what shit. And that shit is on your profile. I responded to it, bro. That was what you said.
So you want to talk about the courts?
Yes, I want to talk about authoritarianism in Venezuela. I think adding 12 Supreme Court justices to a country is authoritarianism. To sway your fucking party. If Trump added 5 Supreme Court seats to give himself a majority, you don't think that's fucked up, Eddie? Because you excuse that shit to me, to my fucking face, bro, and you laugh to me. All right, these people starve my fucking family, and you think it's funny. All right, Doug talked to you about the fucking Holocaust, bro, and you said like get bit or some shit, and then you called him a fucking ANCAP when he talked to you about the fucking Holocaust, you motherfucker, and you're laughing at the Holocaust, dude.
No, I'm laughing at you.
Yeah, I know, bro, and people of color are gonna know that you find you laughing at someone whose family died in the Holocaust funny, bro. Honestly, man,
I don't think that's funny. Holocaust is horrible.
Yeah, but then you find the fucking forced migration of the Crimean Tatars that killed 100,000 of them, and literally fucking you said, oh, I have to look more into it. Well, guess what? In 1964, they were absolved by the Soviet Union, okay? They were not allowed to return to their homeland until 1989, until that shit fucking fell. Go ask Dr. Rina what it was like to be a Soviet Jew, okay? Don't make fucking faces at me, motherfucker. You're getting sued. I am suing you, okay? That's it, dude. I'm done. I'm not talking to this little clown anymore, bro. I'm 30 years old. I got on TikTok to teach kids about genocide, bro, because I care about this shit. Because my family, and not even because my family, bro, because I found about this recently, bro. My family moved from Spain to Colombia because of Jewish persecution, okay? I study this shit in my free time because I care about it. And because of Victoria, people were calling me anti-Semitic. No one could fucking tell this man to stop excusing ethnic cleansing to the point where I got doxxed, bro. You're all fucking disgusting. Lee, like I said, bro, I respect you. Thank you for having me. You know, whatever you need, bro. Thank you again for being the fucking only person to listen to me, along with a fucking Jew whose family fucking died in the fucking Holocaust. Holocaust, you fucking gringo motherfucker, okay? Fuck you and your racist fucking parents who fucking raised you. You rude motherfucker. Go burn your fucking thesis because it's fucking trash. Thank you, Lee.
All right, so now people see what I've been dealing with for the past 3-4 months.
Hey man, hey, I feel like I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, 30 seconds, man. Before we go though, man, what I will say is that mental health really is wealth. And it was gonna be my second book, but I've already started on this. Literally the first words of my book is gonna be like, hey, do you really want to be a content creator? Being a content creator means that there's going to be parts of your persona and your personality that's going to be marketed to the public. Can you take the scrutiny? If you want to build a following, you can't really make knee-jerk reactions and be reactionary to people making faces and or people being in the comment section because you're going to go crazy. You're going to lose it. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of respect, you feel me? And a lot of just, you know what I'm saying, is just being real though. Mental health is wealth. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not trying to trivialize Seabass at all, but bro, you need some help, folks. You unraveling in front of everybody, fam. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even Just like I just want to make sure I'm worried about you, bro. Like you really tripping. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, man. If you want to be a content creator, recognize though there's gonna be parts of yourself that's gonna always be on the chopping block. This ain't for everybody.
Yeah, I agree and reiterate that. There's a lot of stuff you have to deal with if you're a content creator. And people who know me, who I was talking with about coming on this show, they knew I was potentially going to be talking with Seabass, and they all recommended against it. And, I didn't want to do it. I knew Seabass was going to say, you're scared or whatever to debate me if I didn't do it. So that's why I didn't object to bringing him on. But I am genuinely worried about his mental health. Dr. Ina, who he brought up there, has also kind of distanced herself from him now after originally supporting him because she's also very concerned about his mental health. Yeah, I don't know. Seabass, like I wasn't even trying to make faces over here, really. I mean, I was a little bit in your original speech, but in the last 350, I wasn't trying to. I really hope you're okay, dude. I'm a little bit worried for my own health. You did leave a comment saying that, you were buying a rifle because of me. And now you're saying you're suing me, you're coming for me. So it's a little nerve-wracking on my part, but I hope you're okay, and I have no ill will towards you. As far as the Supreme Court justices, I guess I can engage with the actual arguments he made. I don't support when the U.S. tries to expand the Supreme Court, but, every president for the last however many years, I don't know, Trump, Biden have all done this. Obama did this. They float the idea of expanding the Supreme Court so they can add more people, more progressives or more people who side with them, whatever. There's various reasons for floating, or that they float for expanding the Supreme Court. That's something they did in Venezuela. They actually went through with expanding the Supreme Court, adding more judges. Yes, it was political. Yes, it was for the Socialist Party to get more judges who liked them. No, I don't necessarily support that, and that's what I said when I originally responded to Seabass. But my point was that's not a reason to invade a country, because that would mean or destabilize a country or hold them under sanctions, because that would mean that Venezuela should also be doing that to the U.S. because we did the exact same thing. He said that Maduro and Chavez are starving his family. As I said, the UN rapporteur that recently went and investigated found that the sanctions, the 166 economic sanctions enforced by the U.S. and enforced by their military, which surrounds Venezuela, brought the government revenue down 99%. And the Crimean Tatars we already talked about, again, human rights abuse, forced deportations, people died, horrible. But it was retroactively labeled a genocide. And, there's a lot of historical context that goes around that. I think I already went into it earlier. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I don't know. I was hoping that we would get to the bottom maybe of some of his real arguments. And he did make, some, but it seems like at this point, he's just got a personal vendetta against me, and then a laundry list of like issues that he brings up and just, kind of straw mans my position about them and uses it to call me racist or someone who denies that ethnic cleansing or human rights abuse has happened. And that is not my intention with anything.
Hey, education is elevation, man. Eddie, I guess he done with his speech. He had a couple seconds left. You feel me? I hope that we all have a seed been planted, and we all go do our own research about what's going on in Venezuela, about how our government is involved with Venezuela. For my followers that's not in America that's watching this stream, you feel me? I still hope it encourages you to learn about what's going on in Venezuela and what your country's relationship is to Venezuela, because we know how international politics work and how international relations work. You feel me? And when Dr. Huey P. Newton say think globally and act locally, shit, he mean it really go for all of us. You feel me? It's a lot of ways in which the shit that's going on abroad has its ways of how it's connected to what's going on down the block from us. And that's the reason why I think it's important for us to have these very conversations about international relations, especially thinking about how progression, equality, oppression, you feel me, white supremacy, capitalism, how all that shit work in terms of the interconnectedness of the world, especially with the internet now these days. You feel me? Like my country ass ain't never been to a whole bunch of countries, but it's a whole bunch of folks in different countries that follow me. You feel me? I'm just hoping that we're able to get some type of, you feel me, education that came from this one right here. You know what I'm saying? Eddie, I'm gonna let you say your last words, you feel me? And then I feel like because you know what I'm saying, Seabass was, you know what I'm saying, unraveling and shit, you feel me? I'm gonna let Seabass, I'm gonna give him 60 seconds, bring him back on, you feel me, and let him, you know what I'm saying, that way he don't go out, you feel me, on this live for people able to go back and watch it in time, and he just look crazy as hell, you feel me? So definitely gonna give him his gentleman's like, hey bro, what's your last words on this? What's the purpose of this? What you think? It's really what's both of y'all. 3 things. What's the point? What do you want everybody to take away from this? You feel me? And in terms of the content you make, why should people follow you in terms of the shit you be educating people on? Those 3 things. What's the point of y'all having y'all a little bit back and forth? I guess, Eddie, for you, you're going to be answering like, what was the point of you feel me, responding to them? I think that people want to know just to make sure it's clarity. And then just making sure, hey, people want to follow, feel me, your page, Seabass page, where they can find it at. You feel what I'm saying? Eddie, you got the flow.
All right. The point for me is always to spread knowledge. Really what you say, education is elevation. Like that's the key. You know, humans aren't stagnant. We learn, we grow, we change. And the best way to do that is to interact with the best knowledge that humans have you know, created and written in books. Free Palestine. Hell yeah. Yeah, you bet. So, and you brought up a great thinker that we have here in U.S. history, Huey P. Newton. Everyone should read Revolutionary Suicide. Incredible book. So that's What's the Point? What was the other one? Sorry.
Where can we follow you at, and what type of content do you make? Like, what type of content do you make in terms of like shit? Why people should follow you, and or people do want to follow you? What they're gonna be getting into?
No, okay, yeah. You can follow me on Eddie Liger Smith on TikTok or Midwestern Marks 1917. I'm banned on TikTok right now. I'm at Marks Midwest on Twitter, Midwestern Marks on Instagram, MidwesternMarks.com. And the point is to spread education to the American working class about socialism, Marxism, and then my main focus is geopolitics and international relations. So I like making videos about Venezuela and stuff like that.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Education is elevation, man. Y'all know where to follow him at. You feel me? Thank you for coming on and blessing us, man. Hey, and also tell a friend to tell a friend every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central. If you ever, you feel me, got something you want to talk about, if you ever bored as hell, it's gone, hop on. You can get in the comment section and or I'm dropping that link every so often, like in terms of every episode. So if you ever want to join on and you feel me, get some dialogue, feel free. You feel me? You're always welcome as a guest on Conscious Conversations.
Thank you so much. I love your content. Been a huge fan forever. I really appreciate what you do. So thank you.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. Hey, now we're going to bring Seabass on. You feel me? Seabass, you know what I'm saying? Just to go over the 3 things we're looking for. What was the point? What was the purpose of the back and forth? You feel me? Try to keep it brief. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel me? The other thing is, you know, what was it? What can we follow you at? And then the other thing was, you know what I'm saying? Take away from this. Take away.
All right, now that I got yelling at Eddie out of my system because you guys are going to police my tone. Eddie, you remember when we met? Because I told you were posting education is elevation on misinformation, right? Now you're listening to a white man over me. Sorry, I got passionate because I was yelling about the Holocaust, right? I'm telling you he's wrong. My family's in Venezuela. I studied this shit in college too. And you're praising him over me because of my tone. So, like, I don't know what more you want me to do, bro. He's saying that this country has stacked the court, right? That they floated it. Bro, this country hasn't stacked the court since the 1800s, okay? Hasn't happened. Floating the idea is not the same as adding 12 Supreme Court justices in a fucking week. It's just not the same, okay? We can talk the merits of all these regimes, bro. Just don't praise the people that are starving my family with incorrect facts because it pisses me off. And then I asked Victoria for help nicely, bro, for months, just like, dude, she couldn't do a 5-second Google search, bro. There's literally, I've made videos on Eddie, like, falsely debunking a Vox video, bro. Like, I've made 50 videos on this man, bro. You couldn't even, like, look at my point of view before you had me on here and criticize my mental health, which is the same thing with Dr. Ina, bro. If she thinks I'm so unhinged and crazy and surrounded by all these weapons and she's a psychologist, bro, she didn't even reach out to me. And I was the only person who stood up for her. Literally, she could have just thanked me on a DM, seen if I was okay, and then I could have told her, bro, my whole argument was with Victoria, with everyone, was tell Dr. Rena Eddie excuses the Holodomor. Do you notice he didn't mention the Holodomor once? Did he mention the Holodomor? Did he say the word Holodomor? No. So you guys are literally still letting him gaslight you? Dude, and you're throwing me under the bus because I'm standing up for ethnic minorities in the Soviet Union and for my family, Lee. And you're calling me unhinged, bro. So I take back everything.
I'm keeping respect with you, folks. We both said that we,
because you guys don't know shit. You think you get to speak over me about my own country, bro? Victoria has been saying, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. Bro, you don't know shit about Venezuela. You said it when this conversation started. And you're telling me I'm unhinged? Bro, I've made 50 videos on this dumbass asking nicely. I DM'd him 3 months ago. I've put my DMs where I literally said, bro, I'm not fighting, but please read. I gave him books to read, bro. If education is elevation, why did I have to make 50 videos on this man and come on here, bro, for you guys to listen to him? That's what you don't get, bro. Victoria, I'm surprised she went to USC and studied psychology, because there's this thing called the Streisand effect. It's named after Barbara Streisand, bro. My boy's a lawyer, all right? And we came up with this shit. Now, your boy, Anthony, saw the video where I said to Victoria, if you fucking come to me again about your white leftist movement, I'm going to fucking scream at you, okay? And I fucking planned that, bro. No. I fucking planned that, all right? I fucking planned that, okay? Because the Streisand effect means that if there's something you don't want to draw attention to, basically she sued over some stupid shit and the media found out. Shit that she did not want people to find out. And when she sued, everyone found out. So by Victoria posting about me, that's the reason why I'm here, bro. And I 3D chess that shit. I got her to post about me. What I did not expect was for me to tell her that I got doxxed at 6 a.m. and for her not to even ask how I'm doing, bro. So that's
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, fam. The reason why I don't bat an eye with you talking about this shit.
Venezuelan. You don't get to tell me I'm wrong about my own country, Lee. The same way I don't get to tell you you're wrong about your own community. I would never side with a white man who is wrong about fucking Malcolm X.
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, folks. Both of y'all white men, bro. Both of y'all white men, bro. But hey, both of y'all white men.
No, I'm Jewish Venezuelan, bro. All you fuckers see is my skin. That's why I think you guys are racist, bro. I'm part Jewish, part Venezuelan, bro. All you guys see is my skin color, not my ethnicity. You feel me? So, and now you're attacking my mental health in public too, Lee. So, dude, I would just think about what you're gonna say, because you're saying racist shit about me, bro. I'm Jewish, all right? Jewish is an ethnicity.
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you,
not just the skin color. It's an
only got 2 points, man. Okay? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not Eddie. Yeah, you don't want to smoke with me, folks. So I'm gonna make 2 words to you.
It's your country too, bro. It's your country too.
Hey, listen. Too, I care about as much about this country as I care about a whole bunch of other things. I ain't gonna go there, right?
But not my country.
Things.
Not my country.
I'm about to tell you 2 things, bro. I'm about to tell you 2 things, bro. I'm about to tell you 2 things. I'm about to tell you 2 things, Seabass. I'm about to tell you 2 things, Seabass.
Okay, bro. Okay.
The first thing, you and Eddie are both white men. The second thing, this shit, hold on. I ain't cut you off.
Ask the Jewish community how they feel about that ignorant American statement, bro. Get an education.
Hey, let me tell you something, fam.
Yo, get an education, bro. You don't actually think education is elevation, bro. You're really ignorant. I'm really disappointed in you, bro. You are fucking ignorant. You might be more ignorant than Eddie and Victoria, bro. Say that.
Hey, Seabass. The difference between Seabass. The difference between Eddie and me is that I know for a fact you wouldn't say that to my face. I don't give a damn about how. But second thing, though, you're doing the tactics that white men do. When I start talking about your racial identity, you concede that you're white. You conceded also that the distinction between ethnicity and race, that there's a difference, right? So when you start trying to play this POC game, if that, hey, you side of the white man, I'm Jewish, this, that, and the other, bro. I'm top 20 in the decade for a reason. I made a living off of whooping white Jewish people's ass based off of them trying to hide behind their whiteness to conceal how they are privileged and be on that bullshit trying to hide behind their Jewish ethnicity. Listen, the Jewish diaspora is made of many different races. You're not talking to no fool. You're not talking to no regular nigga, my guy. So when we start talking about the Jewish diaspora, we can talk about the anti-blackness in the Jewish diaspora and how the Jewish diaspora is made of many different races. But in fact, though, Seabass, do not insult my intelligence. You are a white man. Not only can I see that you are a white man, the way that you have conducted yourself in this here live, you have mastered whiteness in a way where you are entitled. You were entitled to me, that you felt entitled to my platform to come talk some shit to this white man. You were entitled to the white man, Eddie. You believe that you deserve an explanation from him. You were entitled to the white woman. You believe she owe you an explanation. So what you've showed me as a black man, as an unapologetic nigga, that you are entitled.
Bro, he still hasn't mentioned the Holodomor. Ask him.
Listen, fam. At this point, Seabass, I ain't got shit else to say to you, folk, because where I'm from, bro. When you come with that disrespect shit, you gotta come correct, bro. And once you let that shit out the bag, ain't no way to let it back in. So let me tell you something, Seabass. If you ever see Consciously, bro, you better make sure that you come correct, fam. Don't speak to me. You feel me? Don't speak to me. Don't speak to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not Eddie. I'm not Victoria. I'm not gonna play those games with you. But you're unhinged, bro. So I'm not gonna take it personal because I've dealt with people that's, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even trying to trivialize it to everybody watching this live. Hey, mental health as well. You feel me? We all got experiences and trauma and stress that we dealing with. I'm gonna encourage everybody that's watching this live to make sure that you get your mental health in check and make sure that you have the resources to make it possible that you go see about seeing you somebody that's an expert, like a therapist or something. You feel what I'm saying? Seabass, though, got consciously fucked up, though, and he don't know who he dealing with. You feel what I'm saying? But I also recognize, too, is that every clown don't need a circus or an audience. You feel what I'm saying? With that being said, though, education is elevation. Every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in South America, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Brazil. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in South America. You feel what I'm saying? Even though my intelligence has been insulted tonight, you know, what we know is that Huey P. Newton told us to think globally and act locally. Think globally and act locally. I would encourage everybody from this live to learn about how we are connected to people in the globe in terms of struggles and in terms of triumph. You feel me? Make sure that we understand and have insight to when we give taxes, whether we're doing it to sales taxes or whether we're paying taxes in different ways, we see where that money is going towards. You feel me? And then finally, in conclusion, what I know about this content creator game is it's really not made for people that's thin skinned. You got to have thick skin in it because, you feel me? Like my grandfather said, hey, opinions, it's like assholes. Everybody got one and it usually stinks. What I find is that everybody is not cut to smell all of the assholes and or how everybody always wants to throw their opinion out. I tried to do it smooth. The other episode, in this episode, like, hey, Seabass, don't pay attention too much to the comment section because you're going to start being reactionary. Consciously been doing this shit now for a little minute. You feel me? So when suckers get in the comment section on some lollipop sucker shit, I'm not finna react to every single thing. And that's something that if you really want to do this content creator, you should really think about that. What pisses you off? And how easy is it going to be for people to piss you off? Education is elevation, man. What we know, you feel me, is that on my mama, if you ain't got it right here, and you ain't willing and investing in trying to get it right there, it's going to be other shit that you can't get right. and then just keep them in the stack with you. If you're trying to be a content creator, if you're gonna decide to be a content creator, something that you gotta already accept is that your biggest hater is gonna be somebody that you know and love, and your biggest supporter is gonna be a stranger.
Yeah. Cool. COE. Cool. This fan ain't one who thought I'd ever fall off. 50 points with no assist, bitch, I'm a ball house. I got millionaires all inside my call off. If you don't like me, bitch, delete me, nigga, log off. They go for all y'all. I mean, damn, dub. I'm saying, dub, why these niggas always playing dub?
Hey, education is elevation. GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com. If you're looking for any booking, any merch, you know I do professional development. You know I do curriculum development. You feel me? Curriculum designer. You know I got some merch up there as well. I'll holler at y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Make sure you pull up tomorrow for the Chop Up Show. We usually go live on Mondays, but tomorrow we're doing it Thursday because time and things is happening. You feel me? But we're gonna be getting into this Haiti conversation and whether liberals keeping the same energy or not, and whether Biden and the Kamala, you feel me, administration keeping the same energy or not. So if you somebody that want to get more insight on what's been going on with folks riding on whips and hitting black folks, tune in tomorrow. Goddamn, I'm gonna make sure I play this last little thing, and then I'm on my way because you know I gotta wake up in the morning. Shout out to everybody that got works and things like that. But shout out to
me, my guys, we really live. Lord forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.